Holden, Naturopath and Biochemist. I'm here to introduce my friend and colleague Vivienne. We've known each other for 30 years now and worked a lot together off and on in different health centres. And Vivienne has a very unique skill set, very multi-talented lady. So Vivienne, tell us, the audience, a little bit about your background, because you're a master NLP trainer. You worked at a corporate level for a long time, didn't you?
I did. I started off in the corporate world many years ago in the 80s, and I was made a manager of people, and I didn't have a clue how to manage people. Like, what makes somebody do something and have an excellent result, and somebody seems to be doing the same things and it turns to custard. So that was my major question. And I found NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, which allowed me to understand how the mind works, how the brain works, how we program ourselves, and how we sabotage ourselves or create excellence.
Right.
So that was my stepping stone.
Yep.
Spent a lot of time and money going overseas to get trained in that, because all there was in New Zealand in those days was Dale Carnegie, and that wasn't going to help me with this. So I became a trainer around the world in this modality. And then more recently, I've trained in multiple brain integration, which is like advanced NLP and advanced neuroscience.
Great.
And Holographic Kinetics, which deals with intergenerational trauma.
So the main reason why I asked Vivienne to join our team was because as a holistic therapist, I recognise, particularly in treating serious illness and cancer, it's not all about what you eat. It's a lot about what you think and feel, and the emotional, mental, spiritual blocks to healing and self-sabotage, which is so common with cancer patients and people with serious illness. So tell us a bit about multiple braining. That's a fascinating concept, the whole idea of three brains and integrating them into one.
Yes. Well, first I'd say that one of my major beliefs is that we will not get a full healing just dealing with the physical.
Yeah.
That full healing only comes when we deal with the physical, the emotional, the mental, the soul and the spirit.
And more importantly, it won't come back because you've dealt with the causes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And a lot of causes are from trauma in the soul. Multiple brain integration is an amazing piece of technology. It's a relatively new therapy. That is 7 years old, which is new in terms of therapy. Mm. And it's like ancient wisdom meets modern neuroscience. And the neuroscientists have proved what ancient wisdom knew, that there's three brains. There's the head brain, yes, we know about that. But the heart is a brain, it's not just a pump. And the gut is a brain, it's not just a digestive
Like our
system.
intuition, our inner tuition, yeah.
And all three have tuition actually, but in different ways. And all three brains have different prime functions and different competencies. So therefore, in order to achieve success, we need all three activated and all three cooperating and working together. Most people that come that have an illness, whether it's a mental illness or a physical illness, have an internal conflict.
Right.
So the head brain's saying one thing, the heart wants something else, the gut's doing something else.
So they're pulling in different directions, they're not on the same page.
So in multiple brain integration, we teach the client how to manage their stress, how to manage their autonomic nervous system, and align these three brains around whatever the outcome is that the client wants. Then once we've got them aligned in a positive, we teach them what we call highest expressions, which is compassion in the heart, creativity in the head, and courage in the gut. And when you are operating out of your compassion, creativity, and courage, it's like the inner wisdom of your authentic self starts coming forward, and that's when you start making good decisions for yourself.
You get a stronger inner voice and inner direction. Yeah, yeah. I've experienced this therapy multiple times with Vivienne, and I must say, both first and second time, it felt like a fog had lifted, and I felt really on purpose, really focused and getting on with doing what I came here and what my spiritual mission was to do, which was to be a holistic healer. And so I was very grateful for the technology, and that's why I wanted Vivienne to be on our team. So if you haven't experienced this, you need to, particularly if you've got a lot of inner conflict, inner voices telling you different things. That's a sure sign that you're not listening to your gut and your heart. Now, there's another technology you use, Vivienne, called Holographic Kinetics. Can you describe that to the audience, please?
Yes, it's a little bit more complex to explain, but basically what it deals with is intergenerational trauma. So that means that there can be traumas that are handed down through generations. And this work looks at identifying what is the trauma, what is the emotion that keeps it triggered, when did it get triggered in this life, and where has this come from in the past, and clearing it from there, and then clearing any other interdimensional energies that are attached into this and keeps us running. So if we take an example of a curse, often families know that they've got a family curse.
Yeah.
And it keeps repeating through the generations. There's other energies attached that keep that running.
Yeah.
And it's cleaning up all of that. So
cutting the cords.
It cuts all the cords, it cleans it up and allows you to decide how you want to live your life moving forward. So both of these technologies, holographic kinetics and multiple brain integration, create what we call ontological coaching. It's not just setting an outcome. It changes your identity.
Yeah.
It allows you to decide, who am I going to be moving forward? How am I going to be being myself moving forward? And allows you to change those old identities and give up all those old patterns and conditionings that often have been programmed by somebody else or something else.
Excellent. Now, can you do this work by distance with the COVID situation at the moment?
Yes, I can.
Great. So you can do a Zoom or a Skype. Brilliant. So again, you don't have to be living in Auckland to experience this technology. If you're out of Auckland or in the larger area and you don't want to travel, obviously it's better if you can be with the person because we can pick up visual cues from you. But with Zoom, you can do that anyway. So what's the cost for a session, Vivienne?
The HK is $160.
That's holographic kinetics. And how long does that normally take?
About an hour and a half.
About 90 minutes? Yep.
And the multiple braid is 120, and that's an hour.
Right, great. And do people need to come back for more?
Well, I find if I've done 3 sessions with somebody, because in the multiple brain there's an educational piece, I teach them how to master their own brains. Brilliant. Then they've got a good handle on that after 3 sessions.
Brilliant.
Depending on how much sabotage is in somebody's life, what I do know is if I've done 4 or 5 holographic kinetics sessions with somebody, they're totally in control of their own lives again. There's nothing external programming them and controlling them.
Great. So this enables you to have a sense of freedom and liberation from your dis-ease. Okay? So I can't really emphasize enough how important this mental, emotional, spiritual clearing process is to clear your slate so you can tackle a serious illness like cancer or heart disease or diabetes or arthritis, whatever its medical name is, there are solutions for you. So thank you very much, Vivienne. That's very enlightening. And there'll be more information on our website with links to different websites on all these therapies so you can find out more about them. This is cutting edge neuroscience, folks, really where science meets spirituality. And I love that. It's really where the world's going in 21st century medicine, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
because one of my original questions when I first learned NLP was, where does spirit fit in here?
Right.
Because I had a spiritual background, where does spirit fit in here?
Right.
And these technologies that have been developed since, they give us that. They treat a client as a holistic person.
Yeah. And you can find out more about this by going to visit Bruce Lipton's website, Dr. Joe Dispenza's website, Marianne Williamson's website. There's lots of information. This is cutting edge therapy in the last 10 years, and our knowledge and understanding has come right up about how this can affect our health. Thank you very much, Vivienne. Look forward to speaking with you again, and thanks, folks. See you next time.